Okay, so I'm going to give you a tour of I promised to give you a tour of the man room, so let's start at my shop here. This is my shop. It's 24 by 40. I don't know if you want to see much of it. This is my, this was in Dad's shop. I figured he'd want Chesty here, pull her in here. I gotta close the door. The cat will get out. Let me back up here. So this is my shop. And then a workbench. Notice I got a bunch of wood. I'm trying to work on some projects now, move some stuff around. So we got a bunch of Dad's stuff I'm trying to fix up, and that was in his house I'm trying to fix up and get rid of. But there's my shop cat piled in. Hey Pippin, and my dust. I want to show you my workbench. This is so I made this workbench out of it's probably 100-year-old old growth oak. It come out of a barn. But if you look at the color of it, you just can't get that color. The sides here. All the holes, all the nail holes are still in it. You just can't get that kind of color. That's pretty bench. So we got a vise on, double vise on this end, and another one this end. You can see on the legs here where the old beams were. See, I had the notches in the beams. I filled them with another block and redid those. Dad was real proud of that bench. He showed a lot of people my workbench, and when I sent that to him, he was proud of that. Okay, so anyway, that was my shop. It's got some of Dad's horns hanging, or antlers hanging up the front. That was in his house. Coming into so you'll notice in my man room and up the stairs here, I got a bunch of old wood. I took a bunch of old heart pine. People cut I got a guy that cuts slabs of heart pine out of buildings, old buildings up to make flooring out of, and he gives me the end pieces. So I take and I'll take a 40 grit to them, so you can still see the old sanding, the old saw marks in them, and then you know, I just use those for siding. I mean, for putting on my walls and stuff. I think it looks pretty cool. That was in Dad's front door, I believe. One of Mom's paintings. And some more Dad stuff. As you go upstairs, you can see all that wood's beautiful. Dad, that's his tribute to me, I guess. I love wood. Old picture frame I made out of old barn wood. My grandmother's painting. I made some stairs, and notice these stairs here. Stairs are just 2 by 10s, and I planed them down, rounded over the front edges, screwed them in, and plugged them with walnut plugs, and then put orange shellac over the top till I got the color I wanted. Then put some poly on top. I think they came out kind of cool. So this is coming up my stairs. Some more stuff up here, some traps and skulls and some of Dad's stuff. This old one he gave me, probably one of the first ones he gave me probably 20 years ago. It's Indiana stuff. I'm going to turn back around and look at, there's my deer. I was looking back down the stairs. Some of Dad's stuff. Pulaski County road sign. I don't have that. There's me and Dad with the deer. Some of my antlers, some of Dad's. Here's Dad's wall that I started for him. Haven't finished. Still got some space up here. I gave him a little deer though. He'd probably get a kick out of that. Some of his stuff that was in the house. So of course a rocket launcher and trip flare. Some other stuff. I thought it was cool. That was in his shop. That was on his shop. That was in the door to his shop. Nick Stan made that for him. It was on his flagpole. Come on, focus for me. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm working on it a little bit at a time. I don't know why it's not focusing real well. I thought this was cool. This was still in his house. This is an old E-tool. If you see the F on it, I carved that F in there into that tool when I was about 11 in Boy Scouts, when Dad and I were going to Boy Scouts. And he's had that tool ever since. I found it in his house. I thought that was kind of cool. Some more of his stuff. Some things that he carved. Cam Lowe map that was in his shop. Get her done. So anyway, so this is my man room. You notice I got old wood all over the walls. My man room's 40 feet long, 18 feet wide. It's got two 12-foot bay bump outs. Basically used a lot of, you know, old wood, fencing. I call this my, this is my pepper bay. This is old driftwood that I found in a lake, old lake driftwood stuff. Made this bar top out of old heart pine. You can probably see I put old nails in it. I don't know if you can see the nails, old cut nails in it. Put some shellac over top, still got all the wormholes and stuff in it. I thought it was kind of cool. I still have to make the rail, but got a little work to do. There's some more Indiana stuff there, I'm sure. Stuff on my way. Of course, you got to have the caution radioactive material sign. Indiana. Yeah, there you go. Probably came from one of Jim's boys. And there's some more stuff that was on his wall. One of his carvings. Another one. My bathroom. Here's old Arizona Purple Heart that was his. Kind of a mess. No, it's not too much. Not too bad, I guess. So let's go back over here. This is my pepper bay. You notice I collect peppers, bottles of pepper, so I got a bunch of those. These are old fence boards. Somebody painted red on one side, so I kind of flipped them, alternated and flipped them around and stuff. And I got my bar back here. I don't really use it much anymore. As you can tell, my bottles are all dusty. My sink's a mess. Another look at some of that wood. It's beautiful. I still got to make cabinets behind here and stuff under the sink, but I'm gonna get there. There's a canoe I built several years ago. 18 and a half foot canoe. Pool table. I gotta recover it with some felt, make some new rails for it, recover that. Here's some of Dad's stuff here. I made some of the stuff that he had in the house. Old fishing bobbers and fish scaler, some other stuff. This is my rock and roll wall. I had this whole 40-foot long wall covered with records, but they were donated from a friend, or a lot of them were, so I had to give them back. Of course, got the Beatles and Joan Jett. Love her. Best of Bread, Pink Floyd, Edgar Winter, my man, and the Runes album there, Yellow, good stuff. Good stuff. There's the end. Picture my deer again. I got a 6.5 foot tarpon that goes up on that end wall up there, but it's getting redone for me. So I always thought I wanted this place to be like one of those restaurants or bars you go into that there's so much stuff on the walls, old stuff and stuff like that, that you have to go back a couple times just to see it all. I'm walking back into it. My stereo. I got this center wall here. I got old rusted tin on the wall. I got that from Mexico. That's old Carnival mask. There's some of Dad's stuff here. Some more stuff. Got on the walls. That's me in the old days. Look like a little Mexican. And some more albums. I got these chairs. They came out of an old theater. I got the cushions for them. I'm gonna redo the cushions, but they came out of an old theater in Jacksonville, and they were tearing it down. So I bought these seats and put them up on a platform. So I usually have a TV over on the other side over there in this bay, but I don't have it up right now. So there's my couch. This is an old. Actually, it's a shaker table I built, and I took and put cigar labels all over it, put some shellac over the top, and redid it. This was, somebody gave me an old ammo box. What is that? Heat rocket, 120 millimeter rocket. I put a bottom on it, and made a little table out of it for those chairs. There's some more stuff. So this is my poker bay. I call this my poker bay. It's got some, let me turn this on here. Got some, it's hard to see in here sometimes. So got some old beer bottles. I don't even drink beer anymore, but actually these are all full. Little microbrew bottles that I thought the labels are so cool. The colorful, labels are colorful. So I figured I like those. Some of Dad's old lures, some of my old lures. Bosun's I got. I noticed some of this stuff come from Dad's house. That was all in his front room there. A lot of that stuff. Dad did that. This is my wall here. Let's turn this around so you can see a little bit. But my Navy wall. Got some of my Navy stuff on it. You can see pictures of Nuke School and stuff like that. There's me. See, there's little Mexican again. I don't know who that guy is. There's me in welding school. Anyway, we usually play poker here. I made this table. We put a poker table on top of this and this is a wall. Turn this back around. This is a wall I made for some of my grandfather's stuff. I made that. Oh, it was kind of cool. This is an old clothing, how to lay out your clothing, army thing from the 50s. How to lay it out on your bunk, and I thought it was kind of cool. This is some of my grandfather's stuff. He was on a PT boat in World War II. Good looking fella. Look at that guy. That's a good looking fella there now. There's in Gunner's Mayday School in Great Lakes, Illinois. But there's a letter he sent to my grandmother that the censors cut out the stuff that he couldn't say. Sent it to her. You can't even hardly read the letter, but some of the neat stuff. It's old ration books, World War II ration books for my mom and her sisters, and there's his discharge. Some more Dad stuff here. Believe it or not, I actually made these curtains all by myself. Yep. First sewing episode. So, this is kind of what I wanted you to see the most. Let me point you over this way. Turn this light on. So, a lot of this stuff I've done since I got back. You notice I did that pole right there. I'll take you a little closer to it. Was in Dad's shop. He just started to put a couple sets of horns on it, or a couple sets of antlers on it, and some other stuff. So I took a bunch of stuff from his house and put them on it. So I did this wall up. Like in his house. It looks like put some shellac on it. It's old heart pine, and then put some stuff on the walls, just kind of like he had it. I thought it was kind of neat. So there's some other stuff. I made a shelf of a whole bunch of other stuff that he had. There's old Badger. Those. There's another Badger. I hung some stuff on it. Alligator head. Some other stuff he carved. I thought that was kind of neat. This is probably the neatest thing. I'll see if I can get you this. And you can see some of this. I hung all kinds of antlers and stuff on it. Different things. There's minks, 2 little white minks back there. There's a mink there, and deer jaw bones. Some of the stuff that Dad did. An old turtle shell. Rattlesnake head. It's nice. And there's this little medicine pouch. Put this up here. A lot of this stuff was in his shop, and then this was some of this stuff was in his house, so I put it all together. All these necklaces he made out of claws, and I don't know if you can see that real well. And then some deer skulls up there, European mount. I thought it was kind of cool. And there's some other ones, some of mine, some of his, hung along the wall. I thought it was cool. Some other stuff there that was hanging in his house. There's more stuff. One of his carvings there. I made a little shelf and put a bunch of his lures and stuff there. Some of his carvings. These were in his house in the front room up there. He made that when he was in high school. There's a, I don't know if you can see that one. That was hanging on his front door. So I thought this was a good tribute to him. All the stuff there, he carved that when he was in Idaho with Stan. Little minks, little minkies. Some of his deer tags. There's more stuff on this thing that you probably see every time you look at it. Some more of his carvings of gourds and other stuff. So that's kind of the tour of my shop. Take you back through. This is looking the other way. I like it in here. I got stuff hung all over. Find more stuff, I hang it up. Well, hope you enjoyed the tour. Come back for more.